Johnny scoring the last 13 points. How much of that?
That's what it was?
Yeah, 13. How much of it was, I think it was 65-61 when he went on his run. How much of that was conscious choice, like, look, let's get him the ball, and how much of it was just flow to your players knowing he's hot? That's right.
I mean, I knew he was hot before the last, 13 points. I mean, I could tell in the first half, and then we went to him early in the second half as well. I just could tell on his, his body language, he was feeling good tonight, and seeing the ball go in. But some of it was scripted down the stretch, and there were some things that obviously he makes terrific plays on his own. He can create something out of nothing at times, but maybe you'd say it was good coaching to put the ball in his hands.
What were you guys doing right down the stretch defensively? Because they were 1 for 10 to finish.
Yeah, I mean, when we finally stopped fouling, that was the biggest thing. We kept putting Trace at the line, so I think that was the biggest thing. Then trying to, we had some rebounds that they had extra possessions that we didn't clean up the rebound and finish the possession. I thought this group is a tough-minded group. They're very connected. They'll battle, they'll fight, and I think that's they kept coming to the huddle the last 7, 8, 9 minutes and said we're not going to lose. So they have that mindset to them, and where there's a will, there's a way.
How big was Stephen Crowell's rebound there at the end to give you guys possession rather than it going out and having them with 120 left?
Yeah, I mean that was big. He had one after that too that he got going a little too fast with and traveled. I thought the other shot that was big was his 3 at the top of the key. I thought Chucky, for a freshman point guard that we've been working on, getting the paint, playing off 2 feet, pivoting, finding guys. That'll make the clips when we show the good things that happened tonight.
You mentioned Johnny having the ability to do things on his own. The 3-point play where he drove to give you guys the lead for good, was that something scripted or that something you just did?
I'd have to think back and look at the.
He drove through 2 defenders from the left wing.
Yeah, I think it was scripted. I think we put him in a ball screen, if I remember right. We were moving him around with ball screens, but I think he rejected the ball screen and went down the left lane line, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is, that's his read, is they see how he's being played.
Greg, I asked Brad this, but free throws, we've talked about them all season about how big they are, and they've shot phenomenally well from the line. I mean, I ask you the same question, how important was that in this game?
Well, I mean, you have to get to the free throw line. That's part of our, part of our DNA. It's part of our plan is try to get there. I thought we were there, 14 times the first, second half 15, and I told them at halftime, I said we got to shoot 20 in the second half. That was the goal. You get to 20, but but it helps in so many fashions. Obviously, it helps on the scoreboard. It puts the other team in foul trouble. It helps set our defense. Guys that are struggling offensively, for them to get there and see the ball go in is always confidence building. So there's a lot of positives that come from getting to the foul line.
Are you as confident in Brad's ability to get back on the right side from the 3-point line as he is in his ability?
Yeah. I mean, he's got the ultimate green light for the most part. That one he chucked in the first half that ended up in row 8. Yeah, that one we had a little talk about. But everything else, he knows he's earned it. I mean, all our shooting drills. I mean, whether it's 5-on-5, 4-on-4, and stuff alive, his stats are, in our individual drills. I mean, he doesn't have a green light or a license to let it fly by accident. He's earned it. I mean, the kid's shooting 85% in drills in practice from 3. So when you have somebody shooting it like that, you don't second guess it for the most part. That was the only one that I said, hey, just because of what it created on the other end, we needed to be a little better with our choices on possessions.
Felt like Tyler Wall was having a little bit of an off night. A couple travels, I think it was 4, not a lot of points. Was there something going on? Was that matchups, or was he in his head?
Well, I mean, Race Thompson's physical. The one I didn't think it was a travel. I'll look at the film and see. I'm sure if they called it, it must have been a travel. But he's an important part. He defensively did some good things. Was playing some gaps pretty well down the stretch. Really did a good job when we were switching a lot of things. So he's a big piece of what we had some foul trouble too. So we had to kind of mix and match a little bit. And I thought Ben gave us some good minutes there at the 4 too.
I think this is now 12-1 games decided by 6 points or fewer. Some people would say they're living on the edge and some of them are going to get burned. Do you care about that as long as they keep converting and making plays?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to be in tight games. This league, I mean, look at what up Happy Valley tonight. I mean, I don't know what happened in the other game, Minnesota, Ohio State.
Ohio State crushed them
Did
second
they?
half, yeah.
Okay. But by and large, the games are gonna be like that. You're gonna have, you know, a tight possession game. There's gonna be very few where you're gonna be able to cruising to the finish line finished up in our non-conference in December. Now it's, you know, for these 3 months, it's you know, it's a battle every night.
Do you think it was important to get the win out here after having such a tough loss against Rutgers?
It was important to get the win here because it was our next game, regardless of what happened with Rutgers. I mean, Rutgers played well, give them credit. We didn't do some things well, we learned from it. Hopefully we were better in some areas tonight that we weren't on Saturday, and you know, you learn from it. And it's good to, you know, flush that out and get back on the nice thing about basketball, turn around playing 2 or 3 days later, not like football and you have to wait 7 days. I'd go bananas. I just only could have it won the game. I went crazy as it was just from Sunday, Monday to tonight.
I'll ask you
That
the same-
Saturday was sitting a little not well.
I'll-
Yes.
I'll ask you the same question I asked Brad, a completely different team, but this is the first time here since that victory in 20. Any memories at all as you come in this place today, and then especially come out here with a victory?
Yeah, you know, more so than any final score or anything. When it hit me, it didn't hit me today in the shoot around. It hit me tonight when we went to our coach's locker room, and I remember after that game walking in there, sitting down, and just emotionally losing it. And I sat in the same chair in the same spot, and what came to my mind was Coach Moore, and that's what went to my mind that day. You know, when we finished out that regular season with the championship, and I was like, dang, I haven't been back in this room on this chair. And that, as I sat down, that's all I thought about tonight was, man, Coach Moore.
Sat down before the game.
Yeah, in our coach's locker room next to our players' locker room.
Greg, you know, we keep seeing these performances from Johnny where he's really just, the word for it's clutch. 30 points, 37 against Purdue, 30 tonight, and there was another 30-point performance. I mean, it's hard to put into words, but how important is that for you guys?
Well, he's, I mean, that's what Player of the Year players do. Player of the Year candidates play. I mean, I'm not trading him for anybody, I'll tell you that. I mean, that's what Player of the Year MVPs do. When the game's on the line, they show up, you know, and they perform when the lights are the brightest. And he's done it time and time again. And you know, but he's human. You know, he's gonna have 30 or 37 every night. But you know, he's fun to coach. He listens. He's coachable. I get after him. He responds. You know, he's tough as nails. And like I said, when the game's on the line, he wants the ball.
30 from Jackson Davis.
Yeah, Trace, we added, you know, he's a hard cover just because he's so quick, you know, quick around the rim. They do a good job, and you're concerned about, you know, you don't want to give up threes. I know they've struggled a little bit from 3, but you don't want to let them get hot, especially here at home. And, you know, and that obviously we put him at the line too much too. I thought we had some cheap fouls that I looked through the film, and we made some foolish mistakes on him at times, and grabbed and reached and didn't use our feet and our body well enough. But you know, he's a good, really good player.
Anything else for Coach?
All good? All right, thank you.